Many people are always curious about why Bruce Lee died so suddenly. Why did no one mention the reason for his death? He suddenly passed away at his home, making his family and colleagues truly heartbroken. What comments did Chuck Norris have about Bruce Lee? Let's find out through this video. Bruce Lee, born Lee Jun-fan, born November 27, 1940 in San Francisco, is a Hong Kong American martial artist and actor. He is considered the founder of Jeet Kune Do, a mixed martial arts philosophy, and a pop culture icon of the 20th century. Lee grew up in Hong Kong and was introduced to the film industry by his father at a young age. His early martial arts experience included Wing Chun, Tai Chi, and boxing, along with frequent participation in street fights. After moving to the United States in 1959 and enrolling at the University of Washington in 1961, Lee began to consider teaching martial arts and his desire to become an actor. Lee opened his first martial arts school in Seattle, then opened another school in Oakland, California. He attracted great attention at the 1964 Long Beach International Karate Championships with his demonstrations and speeches. Lee moved to Los Angeles to teach, attracting famous students such as Chuck Norris, Sharon Tate and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. With martial arts films such as The Big Boss, Fists of Fury, The Way of the Dragon, Enter the Dragon and The Game of Death, Lee became a global icon, especially in the Chinese and Asian American communities. He challenged stereotypes about Asians in films in the United States and sparked Western interest in Chinese martial arts. Lee died in July 1973. Aged just 32, but continued to have a strong influence on modern combat sports and popular culture, being named by Time magazine as one of the 100 most important people in the world. Most important of the 20th century. Bruce Lee's personality and philosophy also played an important role in his career. He was not only a good martial artist but also a martial arts philosopher. His Jeet Kune Do philosophy is not just a martial arts method, but also an approach to life. He encouraged his students to learn and develop themselves through experimentation and deeper understanding of themselves, a philosophy that pervades all areas of life. In addition to his career in martial arts and cinema, Lee is also a famous author and speaker. He wrote many books and articles on martial arts and philosophy, helping to spread Jeet Kune Do philosophy and his influence more widely within the martial arts community and general culture. Although he passed away at the age of 32, Bruce Lee's legacy still lives on in the hearts of fans and has a profound influence on future generations of martial artists and actors. He is not only a symbol of martial arts but also a symbol of freedom, patience and steadfastness in pursuing one's dreams. After Bruce Lee's death, his legacy continues to live on through his family and the works he left behind. His son, Brandon Lee, was also a known actor, but also died suddenly in an accident while filming in 1993. This loss made Lee's family and fans sad. The whole world is very shocked. Since then, however, love and respect for Bruce Lee has grown, and he is still remembered not only for his films and books, but also for the ideas and philosophies he held. Discussions about him and his works still take place every day in the martial arts community and cultural circles. Anyone who pursues martial arts or fighting arts cannot avoid the influence of Bruce Lee. His philosophy of freedom, creativity and personal growth continues to be an inspiration to millions around the world. Lee was not only an outstanding martial artist, but also a thinker, a cultural icon, and an unforgettable legend. Bruce Lee's legacy continues to be celebrated in a variety of ways, from film re-releases to cultural events and exhibitions. His films are still considered classics in the martial arts genre and continue to attract audiences worldwide. In addition, martial arts schools and training facilities around the world often use Bruce Lee's philosophy and techniques as the basis for teaching martial arts. Books and documents about him are still widely researched and disseminated, helping future generations better understand him and his philosophy. Besides that, Bruce Lee is also a pop culture icon, recognized in many different fields such as music, graphic arts, fashion, and video games. His image often appears on graphic products, t-shirts, and toys, demonstrating his enormous influence on modern culture. In the end, Bruce Lee is still remembered not only as an excellent martial artist and actor, but also as a person who had a profound impact on the world around him. His legacy is not only about martial arts and cinema, but also about the spirit and philosophy of life that he passed on to the next generation. Bruce Lee has many important relationships in his life, from family to friends and colleagues in the film and martial arts industry. Here are some of his notable relations. Family. Bruce Lee had a close relationship with his family, especially with his wife Linda Lee Cadwell and their two children, Brandon Lee and Shannon Lee. Linda Lee Cadwell was the woman who shared his life and career with him, and was his companion and encourager throughout his life. His two children, Brandon and Shannon, also continued to protect and grow their father's legacy after his sudden death. Film industry colleagues. Throughout his career, Bruce Lee worked with many colleagues in the film industry, from actors to producers and directors. Some special relationships include collaborations with directors such as Lo Wei and Robert Klaus in the production of famous martial arts films such as The Big Boss, Enter the Dragon, and The Game of Death. Students. Bruce Lee was an excellent martial arts teacher, and throughout his teaching career he met and influenced many students, including martial arts stars such as Chuck Norris, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Dan Inosanto. The relationship between him and his students was often not just about imparting martial arts techniques, but also about sharing the philosophy and spirit of Jeet Kune Do. Friends. In addition to official relationships in the film and martial arts industries, Bruce Lee also has a number of close friends in his personal life. These people are often the people who accompanied and supported him during difficult and challenging times. This friendship was often a source of encouragement and stability for him throughout his life. Relationships with martial arts and film opponents. Throughout his career, Bruce Lee forged special relationships with martial arts and film opponents. He often meets and competes with other boxers to test and develop his techniques. Some of his opponents, such as Chuck Norris and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, later became his friends and colleagues in the film industry. Relationship with teachers. Before becoming a martial arts star, Bruce Lee studied martial arts under the guidance of many famous teachers. Among them, Ip Man, who trained him in Wing Chun, had an important role in his development in martial arts. His relationships with these teachers helped him learn and develop his martial arts skills. Ties to the martial arts community. Bruce Lee was not only a famous martial artist and actor but also a leader in the martial arts community. He has created a positive learning and training environment for young martial artists and martial arts enthusiasts. His relationship with the martial arts community is not just about sharing martial arts techniques, but also about creating a community of solidarity and mutual support. These relationships played an important role in Bruce Lee's life and career, helping him become one of the greatest and most influential figures in the history of martial arts and cinema. Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris are two leading martial arts and film icons of the 20th century. Their relationship began when they were colleagues in the film and martial arts industry, and later became one of the most special and respectful relationship in both of their histories. Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee first met when they co-starred in the 1972 film The Way of the Dragon, a film that Bruce Lee wrote and directed, and for which Chuck Norris is famous as a formidable opponent of Lee. Although they competed against each other in the exciting scene, off-screen, they became close friends. Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris both respected and admired each other for their martial arts talent and directing. Norris described Bruce Lee as a man of extraordinary talent and a true artist. He also spoke about his relationship with Lee with deep respect and celebration. In addition to the movie stage, the two also participate in martial arts activities and martial arts education. They share their philosophies and techniques with each other and with the martial arts community. Their relationship is not just about working collaboration but also about mutual respect and support. When Bruce Lee passed away suddenly in 1973, Chuck Norris expressed his deep condolences and remembered him throughout his life. After Bruce Lee's sudden death, Chuck Norris continued to hold his memory and respect for him. He often recalls the great influence that Bruce Lee left on the martial arts and film industries, and he always remembers the moments of working and interacting with Bruce Lee with special affection. In addition to remembering Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris also often emphasizes his positive influence in his life. He remembered Bruce Lee's philosophy and strong spirit, and he often applied those principles and values to his work and personal life. Although after Bruce Lee's death, Chuck Norris became an independent martial arts and film icon with his own fame, he is always remembered for the crossover and positive interaction between the two legends. This martial art. The special relationship between Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris is not only about film and martial arts colleagues, but also about mutual respect, support and empathy, creating a great influence. Not only in their industry but also in the hearts of fans around the world. The special bond between Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris continues to be an integral part of martial arts and film history, and it is still remembered and honored today. Both are symbols of strength, patience and passion, and their relationship represents the spirit of the martial arts community and the solidarity between artists. Even though a long time has passed, the images and memories of Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris still live forever in the hearts of fans. Every time these two names are mentioned, people not only remember the top martial arts matches on screen but also the respect and sincere friendship they have for each other. In the martial arts and film industries, the relationship of Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris left a monumental mark, and it continues to be a source of inspiration and spirit for new generations of artists and martial artists. Every time one sees their pictures, one is reminded of the steadfastness, strength and courage they demonstrated, making this relationship not only a part of the past but also an important part of the past, present and future importance of the martial arts and film industry. Chuck Norris expressed his deep regret when remembering Bruce Lee's sudden death. He often emphasized the great loss to the martial arts and film industries when Lee passed away, and he also remembered the memories and personal relationships he had with him. In several interviews and statements, Chuck Norris expressed regret over Bruce Lee's death and emphasized his talent and influence. He described Lee as a genius martial artist and an excellent actor, and he often remembered his moments working with Lee with awe and respect. Chuck Norris also expressed his wish that he would have had more opportunities to work and learn from Bruce Lee if he had not passed away so soon. He emphasized the great influence Lee left on the martial arts and film industries, and he always remembered him with affection and respect. Throughout his life, Chuck Norris continually honored and remembered Bruce Lee, and he always remembered the special relationship and respect he had for this talented friend and colleague. One of Chuck Norris' famous statements regarding Bruce Lee's death was when he said that he never wanted to get into any real fights with Bruce Lee on screen, because he didn't want to be truly defeated by Lee. He said that if their confrontation took place in reality, he would have no chance against Lee's talent and speed. However, this is not an embarrassment to Chuck Norris, but actually a respect and recognition of Bruce Lee's outstanding talent in the martial arts and film industry. By saying so, Chuck Norris showed humility and respect for his colleagues, and at the same time made a powerful statement about Bruce Lee's strength and talent. Such a statement is also a way for Chuck Norris to evoke memories and time spent working with Bruce Lee on screen, and at the same time a way for him to honor and remember a friend and outstanding colleague who passed away too soon. When Chuck Norris learned of Bruce Lee's sudden death at his home on July 20, 1973, he was shocked and deeply saddened. This news is not only a great loss in the martial arts and film industry, but also the loss of a close friend and colleague who had a great influence in his life. Chuck Norris expressed his regret and heartbreak after hearing this news. He recalled his memories and time working with Bruce Lee on screen, and the two created martial arts classics that fans will never forget. Chuck Norris' mourning for Bruce Lee was an expression of his deep respect and affection for this outstanding friend and colleague. He not only remembered Bruce Lee's great contributions to martial arts and cinema, but also remembered the strong values and spirit he spread. Although Bruce Lee's death left a huge void in Chuck Norris' heart and in the martial arts industry, he continued to be remembered and respected through his memories and works, and his influence. His influence still lives on in the hearts of fans to this day. After learning about Bruce Lee's sudden death, Chuck Norris not only sent his deep condolences to Bruce Lee's family and relatives but also showed regret and respect through his actions. He attended the funeral and sent heartfelt tributes to this outstanding friend and colleague. At Bruce Lee's funeral, Chuck Norris joined others in the film and martial arts industries to remember and honor him. He shared his memories and feelings about Bruce Lee and stated that his passing was a great loss not only to his family and friends but to the entire industry. Chuck Norris' mourning for Bruce Lee is also an expression of the camaraderie and friendship he had for this martial arts brother. In his heart, Bruce Lee was not only a rival and colleague but also a close friend and companion in life. Although Bruce Lee's passing left a huge void in Chuck Norris' heart and in the martial arts industry, he continued with the strong spirit and values that Bruce Lee propagated. Every time Bruce Lee's name is mentioned, Chuck Norris still remembers the memories and feelings they had for each other, creating an eternal respect and remembrance. Chuck Norris' mourning for Bruce Lee was an expression of the deep respect and sincere affection he had for this friend and colleague. In Chuck Norris' heart, Bruce Lee was not just a rival or a movie star, but also a companion in their shared journey in the martial arts and film industry. At the funeral, Chuck Norris not only came to commemorate and honor Bruce Lee, but also to show his solidarity and gratitude for an outstanding and talented colleague. His participation in the funeral was an expression of the sincere respect and affection that Chuck Norris had for Bruce Lee, and at the same time a way for him to send his condolences and remembrances to his family and loved ones. Although Bruce Lee is gone, his spirit and influence still live on in the hearts of Chuck Norris and in the martial arts and film industries. Chuck Norris' mourning for Bruce Lee was not only a personal act but also an expression of the deep respect and affection of a colleague and friend. Bruce Lee's wife, Linda Lee Cadwell, faced a heartbreaking loss when he passed away suddenly on July 20, 1973. After her husband's death, she faced grief and sadness. In statements and interviews following Bruce Lee's death, Linda Lee Cadwell shared her profound feelings. She expressed her shock and regret about her husband's sudden death and emphasized the great contributions that Bruce Lee brought to the martial arts and film industry. Linda Lee Cadwell also emphasized Bruce Lee's enormous influence on millions of people around the world and the importance of his work and legacy. She expressed her deep gratitude and love for her husband and what he has done in his life. By talking about Bruce Lee's death, Linda Lee Cadwell not only shared her personal loss but also highlighted his importance in the hearts of fans and in the history of martial arts and cinema. Every word she says shows the deep respect and affection she has for her departed husband. Linda Lee Cadwell felt shocked and accepted that her husband's sudden passing was an irreparable loss. In interviews and statements following Bruce Lee's death, she often emphasized the deep love and respect she had for him.
Was heute zu arbeiten ist, dann 2,5 Stunden Arbeit, wo die Lehrerin oder der Lehrer Möglichkeit gehabt hätte, einzeln auch mit den Kindern zu arbeiten oder in Gruppen und um 12 Uhr dann wieder eine Abschlussrunde. Das ließ sich nicht bewerkstelligen, weil auch viele Eltern im Homeoffice sind und das einfach nicht einrichten konnten, sodass es jetzt sehr, sehr individuelle Lösungen gibt. Also grundsätzlich ist es so, dass die meisten 2 bis 3 Mal das pro Woche machen, aber halt zu unterschiedlichen Zeiten. Ich könnte jetzt noch ganz viel dazu sagen, aber jetzt höre ich erstmal auf.
Ich wollte gerade Herrn Weihrauch auch nochmal fragen. Also wir haben gerade schon gehört, Leihgeräte für diejenigen, die zu Hause vielleicht nicht die richtige Infrastruktur haben. Das war auch eine Frage aus dem Publikum auch direkt. Herr Weihrauch, wie machen Sie das denn? Wie binden Sie Schülerinnen ohne digitale Endgeräte oder die nicht ausreichenden WLAN-Empfang zu Hause haben oder ähnliches? Wie binden Sie die ein?
Das ist noch eine Frage, vor der wir jetzt stehen. Also wir haben extrem viel Kraft am Anfang investiert, um sehr schnell in Videokonferenzen zu gehen. Dann haben wir festgestellt, dass wir einen Teil der Schülerinnen und Schüler ja auf diesem Weg nicht erreichen, sind dann über die Dippeltabeltour gegangen. Also bei manchen fahren wir heute noch vorbei und stecken den Briefumschlag in den Kasten, beziehungsweise haben dann auf der Treppe die Übergabe von den Aufgaben, weil wir noch keinen Weg gefunden haben, sozusagen sie einzubinden. Bei anderen klappt das mit dem Mailempfang. Wir haben Schülerinnen und Schüler, vor allen Dingen mit einem Migrationshintergrund, die nichts anderes haben als ihr Handy, wo wir auch noch nicht anders rangekommen sind. Das Ganze logischerweise auch ein bisschen vor dem Hintergrund, dass Jena sehr strikte Regularien hat für Kontakte und so weiter. Jena ist ja bekannt dafür, sehr restriktiv zu sein. Deswegen sind wir da auch sehr vorsichtig vorgegangen und haben jetzt schrittweise angefangen, auch mit den Lehrern, mit den Eltern zusammen ein Konzept zu entwickeln, dass wir nach und nach Endgeräte suchen und verteilen. Und wir haben in der Schule iPads und die iPads sozusagen haben wir ausgeliehen, zum Teil an die Schülerinnen und Schüler. Ja, und in diesem Prozess sind wir mittendrin.
Aber jetzt haben Sie auch noch einen anderen wichtigen Aspekt angesprochen, deswegen würde ich gerne ganz kurz bei Ihnen bleiben. Wie gehen Sie denn mit Schülerinnen um, bei denen es nicht am Endgerät hapert, sondern mit der deutschen Sprache? Das war auch eine Rückfrage aus dem Publikum, das hatten Sie kurz angesprochen.
Na, wir haben versucht, sozusagen mit Gleichgewicht zu finden. Also in der Digitalisierung vorwärts zu kommen. Also wir haben Videokonferenzen eingesetzt, haben sehr viel mit Padlet gearbeitet und dann sozusagen den Aufbau der Thüringer Schulcloud, die ja fast zeitgleich passiert ist zur Corona-Krise, genutzt und uns da vorwärts bewegt und gleichzeitig versucht, einen sehr engen und sehr kontinuierlichen Kontakt zu allen Schülerinnen und Schülern aufzubauen. Also wir hatten, die Hälfte des Kollegiums hat digital sich voranbewegt, die andere Hälfte hat fast die ganze Zeit damit verbracht, den Schülerinnen und Schülern sozusagen ganz nahe zu bleiben. Und da war auch der Versuch, sich in Teams so aufzuteilen, dass wir den Schülerinnen und Schülern, wo wir wussten, die werden über kurz oder lang keinen digitalen Zugang kriegen, dass wir die stark einbinden. Und dieses starke Einbinden sind dann die verschiedensten Formen gewesen. Es kann sein, dass es bei jedem was anderes war. und wir eher immer das Ziel ausgegeben hatten, bis zum Ende der Woche müssen wir wieder ein paar mehr erreicht haben. Ich glaube, wir haben einen Prozentsatz von etwa 2, 3, 4%, die wir sozusagen fast überhaupt nicht erreicht haben. Aber das, was Professor Kröschner gesagt hat, am Anfang diese Überraschung sozusagen, dass wir nur Geduld haben müssen und Schülerinnen und Schüler, die in den ersten 3 Wochen gar nicht klargekommen sind, die haben wir sozusagen immer wieder motiviert und die sind dann reingekommen in den Prozess und da haben sie uns zum Teil echt überrascht, muss ich so sagen.
Frau Schubert, denn auch an Sie nochmal die Frage mit den schwer erreichbaren Adressatinnen und wie sieht die Ansprache von Eltern bei Ihnen konkret aus? Sie hatten gerade angedeutet, Sie machen Videokonferenzen mit denen.
Ja, also die schwer erreichbaren Kinder, das hat bei uns tatsächlich auch ein paar Wochen gedauert. Also wir haben uns da so von der Normalität dann in die Spezialfälle gearbeitet. Wir haben ja einen intensiven Beratungsdienst an der Schule, der dann auch aktiv geworden ist, die Sozialpädagogen, die dann tatsächlich auch rumgefahren sind und die Kinder aufgesucht haben, um dann in Kontakt zu kommen. Wir haben auch einige Kinder, die noch lange im Ausland festhingen. Da dauerte das auch ein bisschen mit der Kontaktaufnahme, aber mittlerweile haben